the second section of our show. Sometimes when I talk about controversial subjects like legalization of marijuana, we get DDoSed. We get attacked. So what happened there was essentially that. Whenever something like a controversial subject occurs, our government has agents that are trying to suppress it and trying to prevent us from talking about it. So as you can see, the idea of a new America is going to require something other than just talk. And we've talked about things for a long time, and we found out from all of our shows and all of the videos that we've shared and all the links that we've shared that both parties are corrupt to the core. Both parties are totally corrupt. It doesn't take a big brain to realize that we actually have to use our brain to plan our future. Now, I'm asking everyone to use their brain. Everyone. So I'm going to turn this around on you and say, hey, do you really think you're living in a free and democratic nation when you only have two parties to choose from? And why can't we build a political movement in the center of the political spectrum? What's preventing us from getting along? And the big centrist goal here is to not talk about gun control, which the Democrats keep pushing. To not push socially liberal ideas like forcing transgenderism on everyone, but rather just stop discrimination and make sure that doesn't happen in the government workplace. Hey, the end game of legalizing pot in the states is for people to get high and enjoy the effect, as well as all the medicinal qualities of CBD oil. Yeah, but those people are going to pay for use money like in Evanston, Indiana. They're trying to use that money, or Evanston, Illinois, they're going to try to use that money for reparations. A local political group is trying to use, at Northwestern University, want to use the money from marijuana sales to pay reparations for black people, which should never have happened if we had legalization nationwide. But because we have no leadership at the top of our nation's country, all of the issues that we're dealing with are up to the states. We need leadership in this area. We need to legalize marijuana. So we've got to, use our mind to come up with a third-party solution to a lot of these issues, and that's why I'm urging everyone to commit their brain to thinking about what's important. Now, our country's purpose, and the purpose of our government, I should say, is this: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is something that none of us seem to really have a hold on right now. So the government should enable all of us individually to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And these two parties are failing. So we need a better solution, one that will fix the country's problems. And that's why I'm urging everyone to pick a third party in the upcoming election. And I'm definitely biased in this direction because I've been working on this for the past 11 years. But I also believe that it's the only logical way in which we can find a common ground where we can start to begin to repair the division that is Donald Trump created. Now, he's very divisive, whether you like him or not. I mean, he's very divisive. He's just like Obama that way. He hasn't been able to find a common ground for us to get along and to work together. He only drives a wedge between the left and the right, and he's been essentially put in play to do just that. You see, the people that divide our country, the global elitists that want a new world order, those people actually benefit from creating this friction between the left and the right. That is precisely why Ocasio-Cortez won't be kicked out of the race. She'll get encouraged because she's very communistic in nature. So is Bernie Sanders. And that's why people who are on the far right, like Donald Trump, are encouraged by the same group of people, because they want people to think that he's a white supremacist or a racist, whether he is or not. They just simply want the two parties to hate each other, dividing the country. So this is the area, the gray area, that we have to create a brand new movement and forge a future out of that. That's what we're dealing with. And the best analogy I can give you is this is the area, empty space that we have to fill. There were 4 killed in a theft of a UPS truck in Florida. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we're going to fill it with a little bit of news right now. Should play any minute
We
now.
begin with the horrific scene playing out just a short time ago, a dangerous shootout right during rush hour on a Florida highway. Police in a high-speed chase after a UPS truck is stolen across several counties. Right during the evening rush, packages sent flying from the truck. Authorities are on the scene right now, and what they're now saying, what began as an armed robbery, ending in gunfire, drivers all around. Our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, leading us off.
Tonight, brazen urban crime unfolding on the streets of Coral Gables, Florida. A high-speed chase. Police in hot pursuit of this stolen UPS truck. Packages littering the highway with an armada of police cars close behind. It all started after an armed robbery involving two suspects wielding handguns. At least one of the suspects hijacks the UPS truck, apparently taking the driver as hostage.
Police have guns drawn. Shots are fired. Shots have been fired. You're watching this unfold. You see all those shots fired.
The chase ends in a barrage of gunfire as the man attempts to exit the truck.
There was exchange fire between law enforcement and the suspects, and unfortunately, the suspects are now deceased, but two additional innocent civilians were also deceased.
Wow. Okay. That's an unfortunate. You know, it only shows you the desperation of our economy right now and how people want to get money for nothing. Well, they see people like Jeff Bezos getting money for nothing, free tax breaks from the government, all that. No one wants that. So I guess there's a high number of bank robberies going on every single day in America. In the cities like Los Angeles, they have up to 10 a day. And people aren't told that. The mainstream media won't discuss this, but it's a known fact that our banks are absorbing a tremendous loss from bank robberies. And there's not much any police department can really do to stop that. We don't promote other shows here. Yeah, that's not something we allow here. And same with the UK stuff. Cut that out. This is the deal. If you come in and try to attack us, I'm like super fast, okay? You can't even keep up with me. Because unlike you, I have a brain, right? And unlike you, I actually use it. Biden calls an Iowa voter who pushed him onto Ukraine a damn liar. He seemed like a damn liar. Yeah. I agree. Twitch, you're having a problem over there, I see. If we don't respond right away, it's because our signal is coming up a little bit weak over there at Twitch. You didn't read what he said? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. I thought you were a faster reader than that. I read 6,000 words a minute. Okay? Just because I can read an entire paragraph in less than a nanosecond doesn't mean I can't ban them after I read it. Jeez. My comprehension level isn't that great at 6,000 words a minute. I'll admit that, but anybody could say their comprehension level is pretty bad at 6,000 words a minute. Oh, really? Okay. He said something about the driver going rogue and how the cops do nothing while pedos run around. Okay, tell you what we'll do. I'm going to give him a second chance. Okay? He can come on in and test his ability, okay? But bear in mind, I just came out of a very weird show where we were attacked 3 times and people are copying all kinds of crap as they're trying to shut and gang stalk us on YouTube. That's what they're trying to do. And I just went through an entire hour and a half, 2 hours of that after the cooking show. And I really don't think I need to repeat that, if you know what I mean. But the good thing about doing a show and talking about the future of our country and where we're going is I get to fill the blanks up with all kinds of information. Yeah, and one of the things I want to do is, first of all, start dancing. Yep, so let's get the dance going, shall we? I'm burning calories looking at this right now. Today's menu was super rice. I took the drippings from my turkey dinner and put together a fantastic medley, which we'll be having 8 meals out of that. It's got turkey, zucchini, broccoli, onions, fantastic herbs, all blended together. Just boom, you're there. The drippings, yeah. Your statement was that it's ridiculous how these cops use citizens in traffic as a shield to catch one guy who stole probably nothing. And we have pedos running around left and right. They don't do anything. You're right. I agree. And I'm sorry I banned you accidentally. And thanks, Techwalla, for verifying that. All I can tell you is that the pedophiles in Washington, D.C. are getting away with it. They have the lowest number of criminal arrests of pedophiles in the D.C. area, yet the highest number of abductions of children in the Virginia area of like Virginia Beach in the country. And that's also true about L.A. and the pedophilia that's going on there. Very few arrests in Beverly Hills, but you go to Carson, you got pedophiles all over the place being arrested. But for some reason, people like Harvey Weinstein are not arrested for any activities that, whether it's rape or molestation. So, super rice. It wasn't risotto, it was super rice. I don't like risotto because it gets mushy. The risotto is mushy. Like Chef Ramsay says when he talks about risotto. You realize that guy is like 6 years younger than me. And I know he owns, 50 restaurants, and he's very stressed out, but I really think it's incumbent upon him to stop this incessant, violent anger. I think the F show, or whatever is the F word show he has, I think it's like the worst thing you can do is to encourage the F word. I've never said it online in my entire life. Fossil. Oh, sorry, I said it. The risotto is mushy. Piss off. He's just so stressed out. The guy's like completely, like he's in another world. I mean, come on, man. I mean, mellow out. Yes, everyone loves their mother. So they have the whole sheriff's department chasing the dude in the UPS truck. Yeah. If they did that with bankers, they wouldn't be arresting, they wouldn't be getting away with criminal fraud, white-collar crime. Good point, Techwalla. See how I'm trying to integrate in the chat, like as if I'm a part of the chat? Isn't that amazing? My program was designed to actually be real-time with people in the chat room. Yeah, you can talk to me too. I'm on the screen. Oh, Ramsey's really a nice, relaxed guy. You know him personally? Well, then why does he look so stressed out and he has like wrinkles upon his wrinkles, on top of his wrinkles? Tell him to get some fruit enzyme spray. It might help him a little bit. Takes years off your life. See, it even erases your wrinkles. See that? Michelle Dermaceuticals. Order it online. $20. Michelle Dermaceuticals. 2 Russian hackers charged in sweeping malware attack. Really? Why does that seem like something that would naturally happen? A sweeping malware attack. We'll go live to the chase in just a second. Everyone's addicted to live stream chasing. 2 Russian hackers charged in a sweeping malware attack. Yeah, this sounds like go swim in the ocean. Russian hackers do malware attacks. Here they are. Have you seen these guys? It is not Dmitry. You say that. I don't know.
Operating from inside Russia, federal prosecutors say tonight, these 2 men, Maxim Yakubets and Igor Turashev, targeted thousands of victims, vacuuming millions out of their bank accounts.
Yakubets is a true 21st century criminal who, with the stroke of a key and the click of a mouse, committed cyber crimes across the globe.
Prosecutors say they stole $3.5 million from a Pennsylvania oil company, which eventually managed to get the money back, but most victims weren't so lucky. An order of nuns in Illinois lost $24,000. The hackers focused on small businesses and city and county governments. In all, investigators say U.S. victims in 11 states lost $70 million. Worldwide, say officials in the U.S. and England, the hackers hit more than 300 organizations in 43 countries.
There is real-world harm where people's life savings, people's companies are being compromised by these individuals.
The U.S. is offering a $5 million reward for information that leads to the capture of Yakubets, who's safely living in Moscow, and U.S. authorities say the Russians aren't doing much to help in arresting him. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
Thank you, Keith, from NBC. And now we'll go to Brian Williams on... No, I'm just kidding.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tonight wielding the power of her office in an effort to remove the president from his.
Today, I am asking our chairman to proceed with articles of impeachment.
Pelosi echoing the words of the founding fathers, saying President Trump's...
Well, the Democrats have put our democracy at stake, too. Let's not kid ourselves. Having a person who has to read off a teleprompter to lead the Democratic Party, that's pathetic. Well, let's be clear. We need a guy more reactive in our country to, somebody who has a brain, unlike, the guy we got, who's kind of like not quite there, Smaller than normal brain pan. Sellout Stephen Colbert took bribes from Podesta and Clinton. Wow, I got to catch up to your side over there. Hang on. Let's go to that story.
Now Stephen Colbert is breaking character to dip his toe into real politics, supporting his sister Elizabeth, who works in business development at Clemson University and is running for Congress as a Democrat in their home state of South Carolina.
This was the first actual election you actually got involved in?
Yeah, this is the first one.
I don't know. You're good friends with John Podesta, so Stephen Colbert is a good buddy with John Podesta, so he should really come clean about that, and we should talk more about Pizzagate, because this is just not appropriate. Yeah, I'm sure his sister's now running for office. The whole family's probably going to try to get in on this nepotism. Yeah, exactly, Techwalla. Thank you, man. Now, Nancy's eyebrows are up to her hairline, which is kind of scary. Not many people have eyebrows that stretch across their face, but she may be turning into a reptile. We don't know. Go ahead, Nancy. What?
Do you need a break?
You want to talk? Okay.
I don't know.
You can come in if you want. I'll take a quick break. Did you put that stuff away?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Okay, Nancy's having a problem.
The president leaves us no choice but to act, because he is trying to corrupt, once again, the election for his own benefit.
3, 2, 1. The president tonight celebrating the seat.
The killing of the tree. I was telling people how this beautiful tree background we have here for Christmas is a living tree, and that I believe that we should have more living trees to help get rid of the terrible, bless you, carbon dioxide problem that some people are suffering from, and the lack of oxygen problem that some people are suffering from. You imagine just breathing near that tree, how beneficial that is. But if it's cut, it doesn't do any of that. It just sits there in your living room and becomes a fire hazard. Our family used to order these living trees. Now they're like $80, $90 a piece, but back in the day, you could get a living tree for $25, what you'd normally pay for a cut tree today. UK stuff, it's just you're taking up chat and you're filling up the entire thing. It's just getting to be disturbing. You keep pumping into the room with your chat. Why don't you say something, DC Washington? Why don't you talk about something instead of just dumping UK chat links in every few minutes? Yeah, okay. New America needs more trees, folks.
Okay. Sounds good. More trees?
Yeah.
Should I donate to National Wildlife Federation, who's saying, donate to us by midnight so we can plant more trees? No comment. David would say no. At least that's what I would think he would say, but maybe I'm wrong. Douglas, you're back. There's one person watching us over at Twitch. Okay. Welcome back. And good night. It's late there. Are you going to sleep? Good night, maxed out credit. All right. Trump forever. Do you go to visit your parents or David's parents at Christmas? David's parents are no longer alive. I did spend a couple of Christmases with them. We have gone once to visit my family for Christmas. One, they lived still on the West Coast, I think. But that was like when we were first together. Thanks, Kai Wolf. Kentucky Wolf? Anyway, thank you for watching. It's fine if you don't want to chat. That's okay. But, yeah, and... But so I probably won't. Good night, maxed out credit. Thanks for being here. But actually, I use the waffle maker. David enjoys the waffles that I make.
Yeah, I've never used it straight up.
But David's never used it.
Did you try that rice?
Yeah, I did.
Isn't that good?
Yeah, it is.
It's the best rice I've ever made.
I'm thinking of getting some tea.
I'll make you some hot tea.
Yeah, some hot tea and
okay.
Honey. Maybe the
new one
the gingerbread one.
Okay.
That would be good. You really don't like your family. I'm sorry. It's true that you don't really choose your family, but you can choose to not be around your family if you can afford it. I mean, if you have to live with your family, that's a different story, but if you can move away from your family, then you don't have to talk to them. Okay. I'll work on that. David did have a 1963 waffle maker. I don't know if he still has that, but I like the I know what you mean. Yes, KY Wolf. Yes. They could be ticking. I suppose you're right. If they, especially if they're homeless by choice. I know some people are not homeless by choice, but other people are. Do you think that's true? That some people are homeless by choice? I do. I really do. And sometimes it's not, if you ask them, they would be like, it's not my fault. It's not my choice to be homeless. But it's the everyday little choices you make of, are you going to drink that alcoholic drink? Are you going to take that drug? Those kinds of choices. No, not currently, Mad Dog's backyard. But there are students at our school, which I'm so fortunate that the Lions Club, I really appreciate them. A few years ago, they started a program. At first, they started a program where they bought backpacks and they filled the backpacks with food for students for the weekend. And then, good ticking. And then they have now gone to paper bags instead of backpacks because the kids did not return the backpacks, just because, and if you think about it, the kids in that kind of situation that need food for the weekend, their life is probably so chaotic that they don't remember putting down a backpack or picking up a backpack or anything like that. On welfare, you're finding it hard to pay rent. Well, it is. Rent is definitely expensive. I agree with that. That's true. Some people... But then you could try to find a job, and that could help you pay rent.
Today we had 3 deer eating out of the bird feed out here, 10 feet away.
Wow, 3 deer?
3 of them, yeah.
I did see a deer when I was going to leave for work.
Mm-hmm.
It was crossing in front of our driveway, and then it crossed across the road.
That's usually the way they go, yeah.
Yep, and so I just I stayed inside. I was about to go outside to go to my car. I stayed inside and watched it go across the road before I went in my car.
How cold is it going to be tonight?
Oh, that's true. That's a good question.
It's getting a little chilly.
Because it is feeling like it's getting chilly. It didn't seem clear, though. It seemed like it had clouds, and usually that means insulation layer, like a blanket. I don't think so, Doug, but I am starting to feel like a little soreness on my throat, so I don't think I'm have the flu, but I could.
35.
43 right now.
Oh, okay. It's not
and
bad.
Overnight, the minimum is 41. It's because there's clouds, so we're good.
It just seemed like it was colder.
It's definitely cold. I mean, 41 is cold, especially because here's the thing. It's raining tonight.
Yeah.
So it's 86% humidity.
Yeah, it feels wetter and colder.
Well, it's only 10% chance of precipitation, but 86% humidity. That's why it feels cold. Yeah, I hope it's just because I'm cold, not because I'm getting a cold. I have an abundance of health, wealth, and happiness. At least I have all the wealth I need. Sometimes it's, wealth of friends and family. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I don't currently broadcast there. Can we talk on Discord? Yo, are you still there? Damn, bro. Did the eagles have large talons? Yes, probably. Alright, glad I checked the weather. 41, but 86% humidity. 50% chance of rain on Saturday here. And it's going to drop a little bit lower, 38. Then right around December 15th, it drops to 37, 38. Okay. Oh, heat. Well, in certain rooms I use my heat, but in other areas I just put on another layer of sweater or jacket. Free crypto from faucets.
Free crypto from faucets. So TechWall is here to give us all links to free crypto from faucets.
I know, whatever that is.
Whatever that is. Could you explain, TechWalla, what that is? Free crypto from faucets? I'd like to know. Hey, here we go. Do you want me to leave the tape bag in or pull it out?
Take it out.
Pull it out quick?
You can, yeah.
Because it's pretty strong. No,
yeah.
I'll let it drip. Let me just let it drip dry.
Well, why don't you take that into the... Because it's going to drip all the way into
No, you're
the
right.
room.
It was my mistake.
And then you can put it on a plate, or you could leave it in there and bring in a plate. When was this written? Oh yeah, Free Agent Nation. I haven't
put a touch of honey in there for you.
Oh, you did? Yes.
Just a
thank you.
touch. It's very hot.
Okay, I'll leave it for just a second. Crypto faucets are sites that you visit. You solve their CAPTCHA and you claim bits of your choice. That way, the way it works is that it is an aggregate for paid views.
So it's like click-throughs. They give you money for clicking their site. That's interesting.
Oh, okay. Why gas bubbles stuck vertical cubes interesting. Oops, sorry, I muted myself. The student solves a decades-old physics mystery. What a cool... Who gave me this link? The live science link. I like this. Lou. Thank you, Lou. This looks fun. Fun to read. I'll add desktop too. All right. Here, I'll move it over and move it up.
Do not click that link. Do not click that link.
Which link? The live science one?
Yeah, don't click that. Did you click it?
Why?
Did you click it?
Yes. It's a livescience.com site.
I had a firewall, a Windows Defender firewall come up on that. Just X out of it.
Okay. All right, then I won't be clicking any links. It's called a faucet because you collect drips, but hey, when you collect drips, nice. Very good, Tequila. Not cool, Mad Dog's backyard. Not cool. Huh. Interesting, okay. Can you give me the highlights of the article, Lou? I thought it was going to be an interesting article. Maybe I'll just go to Interesting Engineering and look at sites over there. That's true. Work is always a factor. I believe, you know, in hard work. SpaceX sends 5,700 pounds of supplies to space on its Dragon rocket. There's 9 incredible visualization of space to help you understand the cosmos. Oh wait, I should be showing you this. I'm looking at interestingengineering.com. Probably Mother Lover, I don't know. Scientists train plastic to move via light commands. Oh, whoa. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because then you've got your holodeck kind of thing. Drop frames detected at Twitch. Engineering news, maybe later. GM and LG Chem team are in a $2.3 billion effort to mass produce battery cells. Space unveils limited edition Gucci X spectacles. Oh snap. Definitely don't want those. Global Innovation Index 2019. How does your home nation rank? It ranks economies based on 80 metrics. All right. Biggest cybersecurity threats currently posed on the internet. Nine people prove okay, Boomer? Okay, Boomer. Should really be a thank you, Boomer. From DNA fingerprinting to Apple Computer, from the World Wide Web to Amazon, baby boomers have made it all. Let's look at the cybersecurity threats posed on the internet. We all browse the internet every day, but how safe is it really? And what should we be watching out for in terms of cybersecurity threats? In the 21st century, we're constantly surrounded by cyber threats. From Nigerian princes trying to give us millions to the new Facebook friend who's wearing a little fewer clothes than normal. Threats to our online security seem like an almost constant affliction. While many companies have taken drastic security steps to try and make the internet a safe place, things like two-step verification, hashing of data, proxy servers, and there are still certain hotbeds that pose the most risk. So what are these hotbeds and what are the risks they pose? Number 1, social media. Essentially, everyone on the planet has a social media account, with Facebook alone having 2.37 billion active users. Reports have studied American interaction with social media note that the typical U.S. resident visits around 3 of the top social media sites each day, depending on their app usage patterns. All this equates to humans thinking life on social media functions pretty similarly to real life, even on the security front. But we need to be treating social media as a constant security threat, obviously within reason. Social media platforms have roughly 20% more avenues than malware can be transmitted to a user through, such as strange friend requests, plugin requests from, say, a mobile game, or even malicious ads that Facebook's algorithm didn't ban. 20% may be a number hard to quantify, but here's one that's much easier. $3.25 billion US dollars. $3 billion. That's the amount of money that social media cybercrime makes each year in revenue. If you're like me at this point, you're probably trying to figure out what you can watch out for then after learning how big a market social media cybercrime is. Here are the top types of social media attacks. Reconnaissance attacks. Your biggest threat on social media is yourself. Modern social media has created an air of safety for users where they can share the most personal of information, often open to the public. Reconnaissance attacks are those where malicious actors are able to collect and analyze overshared user data that can then be compiled to create a holistic picture of the actual person. This is the type of data that would let hackers get past your security questions on sites like the name of your dog, the street you live on, or who your first crush was. Number 2, social engineering. Social engineering is no longer just something that scam artists on the side of the street use. Rather, they now have a wealth of online means to steal your data. Through fake profiles or user information, hackers can slide into your direct messages and toy with your emotions. This is a fairly common social media attack, where through personal messages or through legitimate looking links, cyber criminals are able to get a small percentage of people to follow up and provide them with desired financial or personal information. I got a call today from who they claimed was my internet provider, and then they wanted me to like click to at first it was okay. They're like, call this number to connect to us so that we can give you an important information, or press 0 now. I was like, well, I'll listen to the message. And then it was like, we want you to put in automated billing. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait and check the number that I know is a valid number rather than just believe that you are my ISP. Yeah. Anyway. Next. Facets and realities of cybersecurity threats. Alexander or somebody. Those two methods are the most common and overarching techniques for the social media cyber crime threat. But there's also very many prominent threats out there, such as business phishing. "58% of cybercrime victims are small businesses. This is a sobering statistic when you consider that most small businesses are usually people massively in debt, pursuing a dream they've had since they were kids. The other unfortunate truth is that most cybercrimes done to small businesses are easily preventable and protectable against. Most common reasons that businesses fall victims to cybercrimes are: number 1, untrained employees. 2, using personal devices for work. 3, using one single IT person rather than a team. Last, data loss. 61% of all business data breaches fall on the heads of an untrained or non-observant employee, most commonly through employees falling victim to easily detectable phishing scams. A good example is an email sent to the head of HR, posing to the CEO of the company, posing to the CEO of the company, asking for the W-2 forms of every single employee at the company for an investment meeting. While that might sound absurd, it's happened multiple times. All of that data was compromised. Oh my goodness, that's scary. Wow. And there's a link. Related cybercrime. Cybercrime is the biggest threat in the digital age. I agree. Business phishing is perhaps the biggest cybersecurity threat we have. Mostly because all it takes is one naive employee to give away the financial information for an entire company. So how can businesses protect themselves from phishing scams and other cyber attacks? Through better employee training, improving personal device security, hiring an outside agency for IT, planning for the worst with a disaster recovery plan. And then also, that planning for the worst is pretty cool. Business cybercrime is no laughing matter. And if you're a business decision maker in any industry, you need to take it seriously. I'll give you a number to drive it home. $5,600. That's the amount of money lost every minute across every industry by businesses that have fallen victim to cybercrimes. That's over $8 million every day. Wow. Yes, Zenu, and I helped David delete it. Or delete a previously recorded video that he played that on. All right. Here's another problem. Email. Whether you use email on a daily basis for work or just check it occasionally for offers from your favorite companies, it's now become the biggest cybersecurity threat we have. 1 in every 99 emails is a cyber attack. That means every week you probably get at least one cyber attack. Or if you're like me, then you probably get one every day. Or if you're like the author, I should say. On average, this means that companies get 4.7 phishing emails per employee each week. Wow. That's an insane metric when you consider that all it takes is one employee falling victim to phishing to expose your entire company. I'm not going to click your link, Zeno. Thank you. Email phishing is also a massive threat to consumers. Scams have gotten much more complex than the tried and true Nigerian prince email. Through a combination of social media and social engineering, phishers of your personal information can use target email attacks to make it seem like they're an old friend looking for cash, or even a neighbor needing your HOA dues. If you want to take a look at how big of a threat email poses to our cybersecurity, the infographic below lays it out in every gory detail. Here it is, infographic. How email became the weakest link and what can be done about it. 1 in every 99 emails attacks is a phishing phishing attack. In a 5-day work week, this amounts to 4.8 phishing emails per employee. Businesses could be receiving attacks every day and not know it. 30% of phishing emails make it past default security. Wow. For example, in Office 365, 24% breach existing security measures and 5% are whitelisted by an administrator. Oh. The cost of phishing, $5 billion worldwide. Wow. Phishing attacks increased by 65% from 2016 to 2017 in 1 year alone. Wow. Hello, DT Allura. %83 of people received phishing attacks. 64% of InfoSec professionals were targeted by spear phishing. And 35% of professionals don't know what phishing means. 67% decreased productivity. A phishing attack on a mid-sized business costs an average of $1.6 million. Damage in reputation, loss of proprietary data, decreased productivity. 1 in 3 consumers will stop using a business after a security breach. How phishing works. Attackers send emails or other communications manipulating the receiver into opening a malicious file or clicking a link. Result, malware is automatically downloaded to their device, or a spoofed website collects login credentials in. Over half of all phishing attacks contain malware. More than 2 in 3 phishing attempts use a malware link. Result, fake invoices paid, false bank transfers made. When someone clicks, the attacker gains prolonged access to the system. On average, less than 2 minutes after the email reaches the inbox. Categorized phishing attacks. Credential harvesting, 41% of attacks. $400 per account. Extortion targets victims by asking for money in exchange for keeping secrets, 8% of attacks. Malware, 51% of attacks. It's hidden in innocuous link that triggers something on your computer. Malware. All right, spear phishing targets high-level employees, influencing them to complete a manual task. It's difficult to detect. Well, 0.4%, but that one Spear phishing, it's only 0.4% of attacks, but look, it costs $7.2 million. Wow. I'll tell him that you said somebody else uploaded it. The bait that gets employees to bite. Workers fall for fake content that targets them as consumers. Business email compromise combines several categories using spoofing, impersonation, and social engineering to extract monetary gain for a malicious actor. Wow. Hackers prey on trust. Phishing emails spoof trusted brands like Microsoft or Amazon or DHL or FedEx or banking. 1 in 25 branded emails is phishing. Many legitimate emails may contain potential signs of phishing, making detection difficult. Does it include the address of a crypto wallet? Does it link to a WordPress site? Was it sent to the others anonymously? Does it contain links with shortened URLs? Is it from a trusted brand? Does it link to a file on a Google Drive? Employees click links that play on feelings of fear and urgency. Warning! Complaint filed. Open enrollment. Grievance filed. So you have to get an email security platform. Look for a tool that catches attacks before they reach the inbox. Intelligent scanning. Full protection. Full suite protection. And layered security. Wow.
Right.
That was a good infographic. Thanks for listening as I went through that. So, yeah, be careful. And I just won't click on any links anymore at all. That will be good.
All right.
Hello, ink enthusiast. Shadow Dave keeps avoiding you on Twitch. He doesn't mean to.
Not at all.
He just he the way he's watching the channels, sometimes he's looking at Periscope, sometimes he's looking at Twitch. He one time had YouTube on top of it, and then sometimes if he clicks on a link or he opens the link, then it's on top of the Twitch show, and then you get lost in the shuffle.
And Sarah likes to shuffle things around here, so I have a different way of doing the show.
This is Vaughn, YouTube,
Oh, I know.
iVlog,
I'm not
and
missing
Twitch
a trick.
and
But I
Periscope.
have ignored Ink Enthusiast. I realize that. I'm sorry I ignored you. If you have any political questions, post them in the room, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. We get a lot of trolls.
Xenu claims that...
Don't talk to Xenu at all.
Wait,
No.
a chatter claims that somebody uploaded your video, your live video that you deleted, that somebody downloaded it and uploaded it.
They did that. I didn't authorize that use of the N-word at all.
I know.
And they're trying to do that on their own. That's on them, not on our account. We purged that entire video.
Yeah.
As soon as that mistake happened, somebody posed as ticking time bags, and the G looked like it was a Q. Actually, it was a Q looked like a G. That's one areas that you can actually see problems. People posting links that we normally trust. Somebody faking that account.
I guess I shouldn't have really...
No, I'll play with that tonight. Okay. Every night that you open it, I'll just play with it in the evening. I was using SketchUp last night and doing some tutorials. But yeah, I don't mind having two computers, especially when it helps heat the room too. You know, I can actually close this door a little bit. I ran a load, so we're getting the wash done. Yeah, things are great. Finally got through all that turkey dinner, and I made the best rice ever. I was kind of amazed how good it tasted. It tastes just like, the turkey bastings added to the rice is the perfect mix. You stopped coming in for a long time when they did that to you? Yeah. Well, some people were threatening people in IM, DT Laura. Remember Sunstar? She didn't want to come back because somebody told her in IM that they were going to come after her. And she never came back. She was a regular viewer for 8 years. And once she found out people were stalking her in the room, it was like that was too much to bear, and she just split. Never came back. I think she came back once to say hello. And that was it. And a lot of people can't get in the chat rooms anymore. So Sarah is looking into this. I'm looking into it. An alternative guest room, unlike any on the internet. And the guest rooms today are completely controlled by gatekeepers, even the gaming guest rooms. We're going to create one that's private for you, but open for everybody. Whereas the gatekeepers are keeping a lot of people from chatting here. I do have a YouTube page. It's called America's Third Party. And if you go to coolrock.com and go to the upper left, you'll click on it on the screen, the button to get there. Coolrock.com is my social site that we've created for our guest rooms.
Here's our live show right now.
Yeah, and then our live show, you would see it when you click on the YouTube button. That's one way to get there. But coolrock.com, I've had that site since 1995.
America's Third Party. That's our new username on YouTube. America's Third Party. Was that the cat?
I was trying to explain to her that I need to keep the heat in the room.
I know, but the cat, I don't know if she understands your awesome language.
I've been trying to speak to her in cat language, and she doesn't even get that. It's like meow, 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 meow. Good night, Sarah. We have to keep banning you. Anytime anyone comes in under the name Xenu now is now no longer a useful name. So you'll have to find a new name, Xenu. Yeah, it's been completely destroyed. So your loss. You could set up an IRC server for your own personal chat. However, in an IRC server, unless someone it goes into the IRC thing anonymously, anyone can see their IP. Therein lies the problem. It's IP security we want for all of our viewers. And that's something, and easy access and privacy. Those are the two things we're looking for. And right now they have to go through all these hoops to get into our show. It's ridiculous. We know exactly what these people, these gatekeepers, are up to. Speaking of gatekeepers, Bill Gates, he won't talk about his time on Orgy Island. It's the weirdest thing. A number of journalists have asked him, Bill Gates, why were you on Orgy Island? Yeah. He had a close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and it seemed like Jeffrey Epstein was doing banking business for him or financial advice. But there's no trace of Jeffrey Epstein doing any banking or financial advice. Bill Gates had a closer relationship with Jeffrey Epstein than he admitted, the New York Times reports. He was involved with Gates personally and with his namesake foundation. Yeah, so weird stuff. And last night, there's an online investigator, I think Scissor Fight got us the link to it, but there's an online investigator who has uncovered a link between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's campaign manager, Boris Epstein. I'm not kidding. His last name is not Epstein, it's Epstein, but it's also a complete misspelling that has been used by Jeffrey Epstein in the past for various documents. It's like Boris Epstein is his top senior campaign advisor, Trump's campaign advisor for the 2020 election, and he's related to Jeffrey Epstein. This is really weird. And then you get Bill Gates and his connection to Epstein. He took a lot of trips, apparently, to Orgy Island, but he won't comment on it. So what's really going on here with these gatekeepers? Are they profiting from their position and using it to do some sordid activities with people at St. James Island? Yeah, I heard Epstein was the pimp to the rich. Yeah, and what's really also very weird This is another shocker. Disneyland had a tour that actually landed at Epstein Island, at St. James Island, Disney. Let me show you this link. It's like Bill Gates is going there, and then this report from Wayne Dupree said that Disneyland had a regular visit on their excursion. It's called the Magical Kingdom Excursion Cruise Line, offered excursions trips to Epstein's pedophile island. Isn't that something? It's like he was the Heidi Fleiss of pedos. So I need to get to the bottom of this. As your president, we will be doing deep investigations into the sordid activities of these companies that landed on St. James Island. Now, this young woman, Amy Rohrbach, said that she had the story 3 years ago about Prince Andrew, and that she was told not to break it by the royal family. They couldn't talk about it. No, the name Xenu is banned completely from our channel. We don't trust it now. No, anybody who posts the N-word in our show is trying to have us kicked off YouTube. Even if they're using your name incorrectly, come up with a new name and say, hey, this is Xenu. And what about Will Ferrell? Yeah. And there's allegations Will Ferrell has been involved in things too. Yeah, I know. All these allegations. Or Tom Hanks. And now he's coming out with his new movie, Mr. Rogers. How weird is that? Won't she
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't play this. Otherwise, YouTube might ban me. Oh, and I better not play this thing about Bill Gates or YouTube might ban me as well. Okay, welcome to the new America, where we talk about nice things and we're never allowed to actually post anything on the open networks. You know, some of you are almost to the point where you want to see people just talk about nothing. So why don't I just focus on that right now? He gets off on being banned. It's kind of like a pet project of his. It's weird. I don't know what Xeno's problem is, but I do know there are other people with problems that need to be addressed, not undressed. Let's now go to a different dimension. A strange dimension not outside of our own galaxy. You're about to enter another time zone. A mindless world of that of your lack of imagination and that of your inability to think.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
I've never used the F word myself, but this man's a YouTube success and he's gotten away with using the F word. You like that guy? I consider him mindless to the point where it's not even funny. You know, the fact that you like somebody who's so mindless means that you're mindless. That's not good for you. No, we don't ever threaten assassination here. That's a no-no. You've been muted 5 minutes, downtime. You no longer can chat for a while. No more posting on UK, please. No more. How your government outright steals your hard-earned money from you. That I want to see. Of course, I don't earn money, but whatever. Oh, this is good. This is the CAFR reports. Yeah, the comprehensive annual financial reviews of every state. This is a good one. Thanks, Scissor Fight. We'll play this tonight. 38 minutes. Every state has tons of money coming in, revenue from their pension funds. And they constantly use that money to borrow against. That's why states like California and Michigan, Minnesota, a lot of them borrowed against their tax revenue from their cigarette earnings every month. The cigarette tax revenue. That's why a lot of them banned vaporizers, because they needed more revenue. Well, this guy uncovers the truth about our government and how they make money on our money and steal the money right from under our nose. Excellent. Well, at least we have links, period. I mean, boring, albeit, but at least they're links. You gotta understand, we can't feature like people being killed every night, because that only fuels the hatred and fear going on in our country. And we're trying to expose the fact that both parties are corrupt. And that's not helping our narrative when we constantly make people afraid. So that's why we don't play, wild, crazy kind of Jackass the movie kind of movies. We're a little bit more highbrow than that, more intellectual. And when you come in here and say negative things about people like Scissor Fight or anyone, you will be banned. There's no point of even coming in. I mean, you don't last long. And I have the unending hammer finger where I basically play whack-a-mole with a lot of you people. Yeah, I played that last night about the lady talking about Epstein.
Have your attention, please. Will Mr. Clinton kill Epstein meet your party at the grocery entrance?
That was so sad. I didn't put her face on camera for fear that she's going to sue me for denigrating her. Now, there's a politician, a Polish politician, who's made a very strange gesture with our president. As much as we may not agree with his politics or think he's relatively brainless, Donald Tusk, the Polish official, made a very, very bad gesture. What appeared like holding a gun on our president. Look at this. Yeah, despite seasonal turbulences, our transatlantic friendship must last, according to Donald Tusk. But he's putting his fingers behind as if he's got he's going to hurt the... And I don't know, that's like an international slam in the face. This man needs to be accountable. If I were Donald Trump, Donald, if you're listening, I would hold back on $400 million worth of aid to Poland. Donald, yeah. Cut back on your Polish aid, Donald, for doing that. Yeah, I saw that. It was very upsetting. Please, mister, please. We'll be, of course, featuring the songs of Olivia Newton-John tonight in our retro evening cast. I like Olivia Newton-John. She's such a beautiful woman. Still battling cancer, but doing amazing effort. We really, hats off to you, Olivia Newton-John. So I'll feature Please, Mr. Please at the top of the hour of 10 o'clock. Please, Mr. Please. I don't have any hatred for Donald Trump. I feel sad that you people believe in him because you're so out of it and dense and retarded. That's when I look at Trump, I think, my goodness, all the people that support him must be brain dead or near brain dead. I feel sorry for you. It's a lot of empathy I feel for you Republicans because you're literally walking around waiting to get taken. Now, that's a bannable offense, and again, that's not working at all. I like Donald Trump in some ways, but I don't... Yeah, they hate, I know. But the fact is that Donald Trump has been, turned our country into a tragedy and a travesty of itself. No, they're not fake statements I'm making about Trump. Everything I put in the workroom is all valid. He is hurting our Ukrainian relations, which helps Russia. He doesn't have any IRS returns, which means that he's covering up for money he got from Russia. He didn't impose Russian sanctions for over a year and a half, which Congress insisted they do. He's disrespected NATO. And I know that some of you aren't from the hood, so I don't think you know what a dis means, man. So I'm going to make sure you understand. It means disrespected NATO, okay? That's right. He disrespected NATO. That's what I'm talking about. In fact, I need to make a correction here. Hold, please. We are now going to change disrespected NATO to no Russian sanctions. I'm going to change it to no Russian sanctions there so I can add that. Yeah, I'm working on my board here. All the reasons why Donald Trump supports Russia. It's weird. It won't open up on either one. I have to start from scratch. Huh. LOLDDT. Yeah, so no Russian sanctions, except now recently he put it on Deripaska. And get this, he decided to put sanctions on his good friend Deripaska, who had all the dirt on him that we could have easily gotten had we just hauled in Nastia, the woman who was arrested in Thailand and later brought into Moscow and detained and was interrogated. Nastia, remember her? She was Deripaska's lover, mistress, and she had all the dirt, and now she's gone, and all the dirt's gone. And guess what? Deripaska is now suing the United States government over the sanctions. So it's a win-win for them. They get sanctions imposed, and Deripaska gets a case where he can actually argue that, oh, sanctions should not be imposed. This is ridiculous. I am going to sue America. There will not be no way in which you can impose sanctions on the great Deripaska. And then, of course, we left Syria. Let's not forget that. That was a big win for the Russians. Destabilizing Venezuela, that's been a big thing. You know, not allowing Maduro to cozy up to Russia under Trump's watch. I'm going to put this in red because these are red flags. Hold, please. Red. Yeah, this is a red flag. Definitely. No tapes of Putin talking to Trump whatsoever. Yep. No IRS tax returns. That's disturbing. That indicates that his relations with Deripaska and others probably is hidden as a tax revenue, that he's somehow hiding from us. Okay, let me put yellow around that one too. Okay, we're good. I'm just working on the room here, folks. Bear with me. There we go. So no IRS tax returns, no tapes of Putin. We left Syria. He's attacking Iran, which pushes Iran toward Russia and further segregates us from any trade talks. And he's created with that Iranian debacle a Chinese trade war, which also helps Russia build their strong point in their economy. It makes their economy look bigger when the U.S. and China are collapsing. So yeah, I'm just having fun in my boardroom there. We're screwed on the board, by the way. So you can't answer any of those things I just said, Mad Dog. You're completely lost. I don't think McClellan is doing that. Not at all. Yeah, well, you got to make new ideas big. Big Buck, are you upset about that? Because I haven't heard anything negative out of Big Buck yet.
On the other hand,
yeah, he called him a damn liar. Biden stepped out of the box and actually did something today. I thought Biden did everything right in this particular encounter. I was not that disturbed by what happened.
that's your son over there. Get a job and work for a gas company that he had no experience with gas and nothing. In order to get access to the public, for the president. So you're selling access to the president just like he is. So
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. And no one has ever said that? No one has heard that?
I see it on the TV.
You see it on the TV. No, I know you do. And by the way, that's why I'm not sedentary. I get up and no, let him go. Let him go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's keep on your feet.
They're going to do some push-ups together. Wow. Hey, right on. I like Joe Biden's spunk. I don't like Pete Buttigieg's spunk. That's a little too nasty. Yeah, but I like Biden's spunky personality. I'm just a little concerned that it's so off-base in so many areas that he's behaving weird. You know, he really needs to think about that.
And to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kid used to come up and reach in and pull and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Okay.
And I love kids jumping on my lap.
Whoa.
Lap. Kids jumping on my lap.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We know you love that. Well, anyway, Joe likes kids jumping up his lap. You know, he doesn't have any pedophile charges against him. There's not one single record of Joe Biden on Orgy Express, Lolita Express. He never took the trip to Jeffrey Epstein's island, but Donald Trump, he invited Jeffrey Epstein to his personal boudoir in the Mar-a-Lago estates, where Justice for Katie claimed that at 13 years old, she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein standing right next to him in 1994. Now that's a serious allegation, and she pulled it. She said, no. She pulled it completely out because she's afraid that she'll be killed by Trump. She said that she felt threatened. And I felt that that's really, really sad, that somebody would feel threatened by Trump. So I'm thinking, well, who are we supposed to believe? Justice for Katie, who said she was raped at 13? Stormy Daniels, who said she had sex with, he spewed all over, he had spunk all over her dress. And we may actually see that dress someday, like Monica Lewinsky had her dress tested for DNA. And then there was Carrie McDougal, who said that he had an 8-month relationship, an adulterous relationship with her. And she was silenced with $150 from National Enquirer with a book deal. All right, watch yourself. Take it easy, McClubbins. Big Bucks is going right at you, head on. We've got a WWE Slam Down chat encounter right now. Well, I think a lot of people are cheap, and for a good reason. They want to save money. They're using their brain. They're brainiacs. People who want to live cheaply are actually pursuing life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And live cheaply. That should be written right under there. Live affordably. But whatever. I'm here to enable your life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By running for office, I expect to do that as your president. That's my primary goal, you individually, to help all of you. Don't ever think for a second I'm a suck up to the New World Order or a corporate pig, like so many others, like Trump, who sucks up to the New World Order, who does their bidding. That's not me. Okay, I guess we're good there. We talked this past week about the Deutsche Banker who, and the guy from Citigroup that handled all the money for Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump at Deutsche Bank. Strangely enough, he died this past couple weeks in Malibu at the age of 55 of what they're saying is suicide. And I don't see any investigation going on into this. But for 2 decades, he handled the finances of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. And now he's dead. Doesn't that seem a little bit suspicious to you? It does to me. Hey, there's a new supposed offer in New Delhi to deal with the pollution. We talked about this last night. But there's no real evidence of what they're going to do, but they're allocating 2 20-meter tall air purifiers for New Delhi. Experts from the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay and Delhi are giving final touches to a proposal they will submit to the Center on the Installation of Air Purifiers in the capital. The proposal is followed by a follow-up of the Supreme Court's recent directive where it asked the government authorities to install anti-smog towers in Delhi to combat the terrible air on the lines of that built in China to combat toxic air. So China already has these things, but we don't know what they look like. I would like to see pictures of them. People are defending those pedos. And that's why the whole word of Pizzagate was stricken from YouTube, not YouTube, but Twitter and Reddit. Yeah, they don't want anyone to talk about Pizzagate. And just like right now, if I played this video Scissorfied just sent me on the Saugus shooting, I played it right now and put it on our YouTube show, they would ban my YouTube show and possibly put another strike on my account. I never mentioned Anne Marie. What happened? Did she die? Anne Marie. Oh my gosh, really? Let's take a look. She's here. There's nothing wrong with Anne. What are you saying? Why are you spreading rumors about Anne Marie? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that, man. You're not allowed to spin stories about people like that. Story begins at a certain number, 15. Okay, yeah, I'll play that later tonight. It's about anti-Zionism. Okay, I can do that. I'm not a pro-Zionism, that's for sure. I do like Israel, though. They're a great country. I certainly see them as an ally, but I would hope that they'd stop their apartheid state. Once we see that, I'll take a look at 15 minutes in. I'll queue it up. Thank you. Yeah, I'll look at that. No problem. Rabbis are very clear about how Zionism has twisted the Jewish state and how Zionism has ultimately, undermined the very will of the God himself in the Torah. I'm not here to talk about religion, though. We are very close to the chip for everyone, Dave. It's not going to be paid for by insurance. No. It turns out insurance companies won't be allowed to get money back for the chip. I'm so sorry. This entire effort is designed to stop the New World Order. Please, Mr. David, you have violated the chat protocol. You're not allowed to encourage that here. Yeah, Anne Murray is 74 and alive. What do you mean I never talk about Anne Murray? She's alive. She's a beautiful woman. Now Doris Day died. So all I can say is, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Here are cyber threats posed on the internet. I don't have that story. I'm going to lock my chair down so it stops moving. There we go. Better for my posture. You like my Christmas decor? Thank you very much. I didn't do much to do this. I just set it up. It just looks good. Yeah, the anti-impeachment witness said he's received threats since Judiciary Committee hearing. This guy said that there's not enough evidence of quid pro quo when there's 12 people that signed off on this saying it was more than enough evidence. But no, this guy decides it's not enough evidence. Not going to do it. Nancy Pelosi told a reporter, "Don't mess with me." Okay. Well, good luck, guys. And then, of course, Elizabeth Warren is wondering why her campaign is falling short and why Pete Buttigieg is picking up the rear. Yeah. Now, he may very well, have his day in the Democratic Party, but if Pete Buttigieg is coming forward and winning over Warren and Bernie and Biden, you know that they are setting the Democrats up to lose the 2020 election. Because you know the American people are not going to take kindly to a man who openly has a gay lover turned into a husband and claims that he's somehow pious when he attacked people like Ted Cruz. Had he not attacked Ted Cruz, I would not said of anything about this guy. But when you use religion to defend yourself as a gay man, it's a little hypocritical, if you ask me. I don't think it's going to ride well with the American people. And Ted Cruz, I would expect him to come out strong against him. Yeah. Ted Cruz better get back in the race. He may have to run. Okay, what do you got here? Amazon spraying us like a bug? Are you serious? This guy, Mike Decker, he's amazing. He has like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, but he's taking pictures of the sky above him in Wyoming, and he has photographs of Amazon planes dumping chemicals on our heads. Can you believe this? Wow.
December 5th continues. We're getting close to 4.
Well, anyway, we're kind of stepping into the world of Mike Decker here, and as much as he does great work, I want to make sure that we're not, tied up looking at the moon for a while, but I'll definitely play that tonight for sure. As well as another one called Saugus Massacre Star Addison, Hollywood Connections. More work is coming out trying to debunk the event that we called the Saugus shooting. And did that guy ever live? The guy who shot himself in the head, the supposed assailant? We never heard from him. He shot himself in the head, and now we wouldn't even hear about him in the news. It's weird. It's like, wait a second, did he live? Did the assailant live or die? No, we don't. Who cares? Whatever. They don't need to breathe the air that we breathe. No, they live underground. Most super elite live underground. We're the earth dwellers here. Oh, the guy died in the hospital? Oh, thanks. Well, how convenient. Another assailant dies in the imaginary world of crisis acting gone live. Amazing. Most super elite live underground. Yeah, they have apartment buildings in and around the Denver airport for $1 million. You get a 10 by 20 cubicle. It's like a one-room studio apartment underground. They spend most of their time underground over there, partying. I imagine there's a club down there where they're drinking, like drinks made out of the end of the world scenarios, like crispy critters, fried humans, things like that. The elite don't care about the earth. They're just wanting to get the population depopulated so they can continue dominating it. We're part of the fodder for their next big move. They did it with Adolf Hitler. They funded his rise to power, and now they're funding people like Trump, who's also a Zionist, just like Adolf Hitler was. An Ethiopian mom drops off daughter to daycare and finds black children segregated from Israeli children. Ja, the kindergarten in Israel is doing the same kind of segregation that Hitler did. How ironic. This is why we're worried about the formation of a apartheid state like Israel has evolved into. According to the Times of Israel, kindergartners who attended the school in Kiryat Gat, a town in Israel's southern district, have since been allowed into other nearby daycare facilities with local authorities, but there's a backlash that they segregated students, remanding children of Ethiopian descent to a separate building with an entirely different entrance. Wow. Talk about completely undemocratic. See, this is why we need to actually put the brakes on some of our blatant support of Israel. But we want to support them as an ally, but we don't need to give them a carte blanche. Sure, go ahead, mistreat the Palestinians. Yeah, just kill them off one by one. Or better yet, 61 at a time. Remember last year, or about 2 years ago, 61 kids had their heads blown off in Israel? It's terrible. Atrocious behavior. There should be some penalty of some sort. We can't just put up with this and just let it happen like it's no big deal. Okay, I got to take a music break. We'll get into more depth. Yeah, it's too much to handle. Absolutely. It's like we're living life over and over again, and it's just it's like the same old thing every day, and it's just constant bombardment.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Been there, done that. There's nothing new to it. I felt this rush before. And as we have reached it, the peak of everything will fall in like rocks when you decided to. Been there, done that. There's nothing new to it. I felt this rush before. And as we have reached
So this is Li Weng-chung, the oldest man who ever lived. 256 years old. Look at this guy. Yeah, isn't that amazing? He is an inspiration. You know, longevity could be a big thing of the future, and the technology that goes into longevity is just in its infancy. They could never find a birth certificate on Li Weng-chung, but he said he lived to be 256 years old, or that's what all the neighbors did. This was him at like 120. Yeah, this is like half as old as he could be. But he looked a little bit better in the early days of his life, you know. But how did he do it? Well, he was an amazing meditation was part of it. Eating with a straw and mashed food was a big part of it because his teeth probably disappeared at the age of 80. But I can tell you right now that I'm on the right track to be at least 200 years old as we continue on. Isn't it amazing how he was able to survive that long, though? To look like that, like a lizard face? Isn't it amazing? Can't you say anything positive about anything? Or anyone? How dare you? This is all wrong. I should be in school. So you want to be one of the super elite and live underground? Well, you're in the right place. Let me give you a link to a way you could actually buy into an underground living facility where you can join people like Li Weng-chung, who are living to be a ripe old age of 256 years old. Yeah, absolutely. We want to enable your chance to become an underground earth dweller. Okay, here's a link to a site called Terra Vivo, and the luxury bunker that you could live in. Vivo underground survival units, a backup plan for humanity. Terra Vivos, yeah. Now, if you've never heard about this stuff, it's really kind of a growing area. People are building underground units simply to survive. I'm not going to play the video for you here because it would be, you know, violating their copyright agreements. But I can certainly mute the site and take a look at it, you know. What we're looking at here is one step closer to living underground. In a time when we're living in a dystopic future, unknowing where we're going, this guy went out of his way to create an amazing underground facility in about 3 or 4 locations in the country and in the world. Here he is.
Reduction of population. There's going to be a series of events that may in fact create some reduction of population.
So he believed there'd be a series of events that would eventually lead to a problem. And he's already preparing. He's building these underground units, and they're fully replete with luxury accommodations, kitchens, dinettes, living rooms, swimming pools, you name it. This guy's already prepared these bunkers. And this is a typical, like a silo bunker that he creates. Many of these are already things he's already purchased, and he's recommissioned them. And he's looking at building like 4 apartments within each silo. So his goal is very, very bold. And I think if you want to check it out, you can go check out his site at Terra Vivos. I'm not here to promote the site or him, but some people want to know. This was a hard-earned link. We found this from Howie Reporting Live, a guy whose life has been changed completely ever since he was pretty much taken out of the loop. No one knows where he is now. Yeah, Howie Reporting Live told me about that place. Okay, here's an exclusive video showing Harvey Weinstein behaving inappropriately. We're going to be playing that tonight. The Me Too generation and his trial continues.
Melissa Thompson. It's September 2011, and the 28-year-old is in the Weinstein Company offices in New York City.
And he pulled back and he changed the dynamic again.
Let's say I wanted to show a trailer, you mean, of my movie. You know what I mean? Like I have the Marilyn Monroe movie.
This is him actually doing what he does. talking women into sex, women who are vulnerable, women who want to have a career in Hollywood, and using that power over them. And that's what he's on trial for, as well as rape charges, of course. All right, this is really good. Thank you for that link, Scissor Fight. I think it was you, or maybe it was someone else that gave me that link. All right, thank you. Terra Vivos, very interesting concept. Ban everyone, please. Why are you getting picked on? You feel bad? You feel violated? Yes, the world's oldest woman died recently.
And Emma Morano, an Italian woman believed to be the oldest person alive and the last survivor of the 19th century, died at the age of 117. Morano, who was born on November 29, 1899, died at her home in Wabenia. According to the U.S. Gerontology Research Group, Morano ceded the crown of the world's oldest human being to the Jamaican Violet Brown, who was born on March 10, 1900. Morano's death means there is no one living known to have been born before the 1900s.
Wow, that's it. The last person born before the 1900s is dead. Amazing. Thank you. Well, we turn a page on every century, right? Now there's a chance for some of you to live longer than she did because of the modern scientific technology that's been developed. Now, one of the key things you need to know about living a long life, and I know many of you want to, even though some of you are not happy living because the environment's so toxic, some of you want to live a long life, even still. And one of the things you want to do is avoid those toxins. So that's one thing you can start thinking about, purifying your water that goes in your drinks, drinking filtered water in everything. And also breathing clean air, getting air filters in your house. Staying indoors as opposed to going outside and breathing the chemtrails they want us to all breathe. The storm of chemtrails that seem to be coming in on us at all times. Ooh, that's nice. If you are one of those people that somehow wants to live even longer just from clean living, also cut back on sugar. Sugar is a killer. It's a known fact that sugar affects the cell walls of all of our cells. Consequently, people get diabetes. Their levels of insulin vary dramatically in their body. Their glucagons and their glycogens are not interacting properly due to the sugar diet. And that is especially true of corn syrup. You don't want to get a lot of corn syrup. Yeah, and there's another common thing that gerontologists have discovered, and that is that if you cut back on the excess of eating too, you'll live a longer life. That's something that many people don't realize. If they think they're stuffing their face, they're actually killing themselves. So just chomp on your curd like the cow. Right, here's the chemtrails. Chemtrails, and many people don't realize these are in our atmosphere and we're breathing them every day. If you aren't filtering your air, that's a problem. Anita has an open discussion going on about her colostomy bag. There's no reason to limit her ability to talk about her stoma bag. In fact, we're even thinking she should start a show on YouTube called Stoma Talk with Anita. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to just have her talk about her stoma bag and have her just open up a full YouTube channel. I bet you'd do really well, Anita, if you opened up a YouTube channel and just went Stoma Talk with Anita. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, just tell it like it is, girl. And I'm not here to tell people they can't say things like that. That's perfectly okay. Well, let's be clear. You can talk about your colostomy bag on our show. Frankly, we can talk about anything. Let's be clear. I talk about transgenderism, Michelle Obama, and the transgender age that we're living in. We can talk about that. I'm sure a lot of people want to discuss that and the fact that we've been defrauded by the Michelle Obama government. Yeah, I don't like to play the video, and people say, Dave, why do you keep playing it? Because somebody has to do it. Nobody else will. If I don't do it, nobody else will. But you take a look right here at Michelle Obama's crotch area in this short clip of her dancing on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And you got to wonder, how could we have been defrauded so much by a dude pretending to be a woman? And isn't that kind of suck for the two-party system that they're willing to lie to us and cheat and steal? And I'm opening up a new stream. Hold on, please. That's weird. Yeah, so that's something that, we have to really wonder about. And you can wonder all you want, but I think the photograph proves itself what's going on there. Oh, I don't know what happened to my chat over there. Those were, come on. That was obviously not her keys. What are you, in denial or something? That's ridiculous. Well, let's be clear. I'm going to open up my channel and see what's going on. I'm live now. Yeah, here we are. There we go. Open up my channel and see what's going on. Okay, good. They're trying desperately to kick me off the internet. The lot lizard stalkers found out I was live again, and they're back at it trying to stop us. Now Nero is here. I'm answering questions. Yeah, Freddie. One of the questions Now Nero talks about is aquaponics. I think aquaponics poses a huge benefit for our entire society. The idea of growing fish in watered environments. I mean, we've got great ideas to create ocean pipelines where we can raise seawater fish and freshwater fish. We could even raise shellfish and scallops. You know, the scallop population is disappearing. Saying positive things about Trump? What exactly would be there positive about Trump? My goodness. Trump never even bothered to prosecute Barack Obama for defrauding the American people. What's wrong with you Republicans? You don't even want to admit the fact that Barack Obama defrauded the American people and Trump hasn't done a damn thing about that? You're okay with that? I'm still stuck back when he flipped on the whole issue. Yeah, I can't say anything positive about him. He doesn't have real supporters. He has about 25 million people that go to his events or follow him on their mailing list. 1/10 of our population, if not 1/12 of our population, support Donald Trump. The rest just could care less whether he occupies the office or Mike Pence does. Frankly, I'd be much happier with Mike Pence as our president. Not that I like him. It's just that he's the lesser of the two evils. Well, let's be clear. Most of you are just waiting for your cyber chick to arrive in the mail this Christmas. How many of you are ordering Robo Girls? Robo Girls to the rescue. The incel population needs a new woman. It's pretty weird. We have billions watching, yes. Graphic warning: FBI interviews alleged boy rape victim of Bill Clinton's chilling details of sexual assault. What? Okay. Hang on. This is really too weird to not talk about. Let's take a look at this. I realized I was completely muted there for a second. Graphic warning. Okay, I'm not going to look at anything, but I'm going to cover my eyes. So let's just hang on. True Pundit. Child sex trafficking investigators for the FBI New York field office have conducted an interview with a victim who provided chilling details about allegedly being raped by Bill Clinton on a yacht in New England when the victim was a young boy. An FBI official says we're treating him as a victim. Oh yeah, sure. Kind of like all those emails that Anthony Weiner had that the FBI told the NYPD to just not investigate. All right, video at the bottom of the page. Video 1. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to play this after our recorded broadcast because if I play this during, it could be a little bit too much. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to hold back on some of these things. YouTube is a very serious... I see it now. Okay.
If I can help you in any way, I will. I don't know how I can help you or, you know.
So this young man is sitting there in a chair, and he's being interviewed about how he was raped by Bill Clinton. Wow. Allegations like that need to be investigated. So if the FBI is investigating, I applaud you. If not, and you're trying to suppress information like you did with the NYPD, I don't applaud you. Yeah. You Trump supporters who continue to say that Donald Trump is investigating all this stuff, he's not doing anything. He isn't prosecuting Elizabeth Warren on the idea I came up with about her getting a DNA test. He isn't prosecuting Ilhan Omar, for her getting money from Qatar. He's not prosecuting any of these people. She even married her brother in order to make him a U.S. citizen, and he's still not prosecuting her. So please stop saying Donald Trump is fighting the deep state. Just don't say that, please. And you QAnoners, you ought to grow a brain cell. Install a thought in your head that might actually work. You've been led astray by the CIA's manipulation of your thoughts, thinking that somehow Donald Trump is, oh, he's doing a good job. Oh, yeah, sure he is. He's not doing anything. Nothing. Zilch. Zero. Nada. We know that Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton had a close relationship. We also know that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had a close relationship. So why aren't we investigating Donald Trump? Because you people stand behind him like lapdogs, wondering if, you can lick up his defecant. It's sickening. You think that you're being patriotic, supporting a Russian sympathizer like Donald Trump? You ought to be out of your mind. Well, you are out of your mind. You don't have to be. You can remain out of your mind. Anyway, if you want to keep talking about me supporting Trump, bring it. Because every time you ask me to support Trump, I will bring up all the sordid details of his past. And you don't want me to you don't want me to send me here. No, you don't want to go to the boardroom where everything he does is a joke. It's almost insane how many things he's got going on. No tapes of Putin's conversations, 14 hours. No IRS returns showing the money from the Russians, oligarchs. Hurting Ukrainian relations for his own personal gain and maybe helping Russia in the process. No Russian sanctions imposed for over a year and a half. Disrespected NATO and still does. Got kicked out of a meeting yesterday. Destabilized Venezuela and gave an open door for Russia to have a missile silo there. Left Syria against our own top advisors without providing safety for the Kurds. Attacked Iran verbally in almost every way, destroying any progress we made toward any treaty solutions, even lowering economic sanctions. Now we're being told that we owe $130 billion to Iran because Trump didn't impose the treaty. I don't think we owe Iran a thing, but we don't need to keep imposing economic sanctions, which led to this, which helps Russia look better in the international economic world. China and the U.S. go down, Russia looks better. So all of these things make me think that something is very, very unnatural here. If you can't see the preponderance of evidence against Trump, then there's something wrong. And I'm not sure what your problem would be, but Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We want to deal with the problem that Trump has created. The Russian alliance that he has, that is the problem. His association with Jeffrey Epstein is another issue that needs to be addressed. Absolutely. But Adam Schiff is seemingly thinking he's got a slam dunk here when he doesn't. One person, one expert, reversed testimony and said no. He said, Donald Trump, there's not enough evidence to prosecute impeachment. Nothing guaranteed to be accurate. And he stated that publicly. But the other two signed off on impeachment, the two expert constitutional witnesses. But this guy said no, he doesn't think there's enough evidence.
Professor Turley, would you agree that the evidence compiled to date by House Democrats during these current impeachment proceedings fails to meet the standard of clear and convincing evidence?
I do, by a considerable measure.
Now let me turn again to the book To End a Presidency. In that book, the authors state the following, quote, except in the most extraordinary circumstances, impeaching with a partial or plausibly contested understanding of key facts is a bad idea. Professor Turley, do you think that impeaching in this case would constitute impeaching with a partial or plausibly contested understanding of key facts?
I think that that's clear because this is one of the thinnest records ever to go forward on impeachment. I mean, the Johnson record, once again, we can debate because that was the fourth attempt at impeachment. But this...
Wait a second. We have Donald Trump in almost every area compromised at every level. We have him taking private phone calls with Putin, having no record whatsoever of any kind of correspondence, even with Zelensky. No audio tapes. That's completely untransparent. That's like Nixon putting his foot on Rosemary putting the foot on his Nixon's tapes. No different. In fact, it's worse. Trump doesn't record any of his calls with anybody. That's very suspicious behavior. And the no IRS tapes showing the money laundering that he's been doing with Russian oligarchs, that's very suspicious behavior. There's more than enough evidence to impeach. This man is a buffoon.
This is certainly the thinnest of a modern record. If you take a look at the size...
Bill Clinton supposedly had sex with Monica Lewinsky with supposedly putting, not sex mind you, but putting a cigar in her vagina and having her perform oral sex, which he said, I never had sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. But the fact is he did. That's all the evidence we had. Did we have photographs of it? No, we had DNA evidence of his DNA material on her dress. There's more than enough evidence. Stormy Daniels has DNA evidence on a dress from Donald Trump. She said so. She openly admitted it. We could easily prosecute him on that alone. Adultery with Monica Lewinsky is what Bill Clinton got prosecuted on, and that was more than enough to declare impeachment. Where is this guy coming from? I think he got bought off. I don't trust it. It looks to me very suspicious, like somebody made him a nice, healthy investment. I would look at his background to see if he's like Brett Kavanaugh and they paid off his $200,000 credit debt or something before this appearance in the court. But no one should threaten that man. That man should not be threatened. He says he's being threatened. How could he be threatened? He just started testifying. Well, I hope no one's threatening him. How's Melania schizophrenic? I mean, come on. Melania's a nice lady. How is she schizo? Support that statement, New2. Meta-Nemesis is here, yeah. He's always here. You just can't deal with it. Yeah, Meta-Nemesis outed Anderson Cooper last night, and I just called Anderson Cooper in my pre-show. I said, hey, Meta-Nemesis outed you, man. He said, huh? How did that happen? I said, yeah, well, he knows. Meta-Nemesis knows. Anderson Cooper wasn't real. And Meta-Nemesis says, Dave, you know he's not real, right? So we're supposed to believe everything Meta-Nemesis says about Anderson Cooper. I believe that. For now. Yes, indeed. We've seen a lot of stuff tonight, and I don't think we need to keep reiterating this nonsense. I think we've had enough. I think we have to just go into a meditative state and stop thinking about all these negative thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Tonight I might be able to get the David Icke interview on the non-human endgame with Alex Jones. Yeah, I might play this band video. You're not going to believe this, but David Icke talked to Alex Jones the other day. and gave all of his opinions, and we'll listen to that maybe later tonight, assuming we don't have anything else playing. I'm not Alex Jones. No. Oh, another little quid pro. This was interesting. Yesterday, talk about lies. He says he doesn't know Andrew, Prince Andrew.
Mr. President, do you have a comment on Prince Andrew stepping down from his royal duties?
On who?
Prince Andrew stepping down from his royal duties.
No, I don't know Prince Andrew, but that's a tough story. It's a very tough story. I don't know him. No.
Yeah, Mr. President, what is your message to President Macron about America's tech companies, and what will your process be in determining what additional products?
Okay, so he doesn't know it, Prince Andrew, yeah. But recently resurfaced interview people from 2000 showing Trump describing Andrew as a lot of fun to be with. Not resurfaced. But it's not here. Not sure why that didn't resurface there. All right. Yeah, he's been seen with Prince Andrew numerous times. Air pollution pushes mortality in Canadians, according to a study. Despite the fact the country has some of the lowest levels of air pollution in the world, it's affecting mortality. Wow. Smaller population, probably more acute symptoms. They used data to produce a pollution map, which estimated Canadians' air pollution levels by the square kilometer. Yeah, it still had a fairly high level of effect on the population. They said further proved that air pollution was affecting everybody in Canada. Well, it's about time that they talked about air pollution. It's about time we talk about the problem with the boot. All right, we're going to get out of that picture and move on to a Dutch inventor has demonstrated a device he uses to get water cleaned. Boyan Slats is working on a river cleaner too. Technology that can clean rivers.
A young Dutch inventor is widening his effort to clean up floating plastic from the Pacific Ocean. He has developed a floating device to trap plastic waste moving into rivers before it reaches the high seas. Boyan Slat was just 18 years old when he invented a system for catching waste in the ocean. He also founded an environmental group called the Ocean Cleanup.
Hey, great. See, we got some young people working on things that will help clean up the rivers. We're not all bad. I mean, that guy's X-Gen. Or he could be a millennial. No, he's a millennial. That's right. You people blaming the boomers for everything, you have to understand that you're naming and blaming people is a sign of what the boomers did to other people. Every generation blames the other generation for what's happening. So apparently you're blaming people now, which means you're going to be do-nothings who will be blamed as well. All you snowflakes will be blamed for not doing anything during this time period. Except for Greta, of course. How dare you? So we talked a little bit about Bill Gates having a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and not being willing to talk about it. How many times did he go to Orgy Island, and what kind of videos do they have of him, you know? And he says he was doing finances with Epstein, but there's no proof that Epstein did finances. There's no trace of him being a financier. He made all his money human trafficking. So I think Bill Gates has to answer to some big, important things. A spokeswoman for Gates declined to say how many times the pair had met. Wow, how many times he'd been on Lolita Express. Gates Foundation has committed $1 billion to gender equality. Well, I support gender equality, so I think we should have a new equal rights amendment, ERA. But I don't support going to Lolita Island. That's a little weird. We do not like Christmas here in Cameroon. You're not in Cameroon. You're in a farm in McLean, Virginia. I didn't, but somebody traced your IP there. Virginia. My gosh, what's wrong with you? Idiot, please, we'll play for George Soros. Greta said this chat is destroying the future. That's funny, Nudell. Yeah, this chat is destroying our future. This is all wrong. This chat is destroying our future. I like this chat. Call me old-fashioned, but good old American chat is what it's all about. 8 historic cases show FBI and CIA were out of control. Help discovering. Report 8 historic. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, that FBI and CIA were out of control prior to Russiagate. Really? Very interesting. Yeah. I think you're onto something here. Conservatives tend to have 2 bad habits. First, they're prone to viewing the past through a nostalgic lens. Second, they tend to instinctively give law enforcement the benefit of the doubt. These tendencies help explain why conservatives for decades have been able to overlook the many abuses, constitutional, legal, and moral, of U.S. intelligence agencies. Yay! Unlike more seasoned media, conservatives appear generally shocked by revelations of the Trump-Russia saga, abuse of FISA warrants, classified leaks from top FBI brass, corruption, campaign moles, an apparent plot to remove an elected president through undemocratic and likely extra-constitutional means. These revelations are unique in that they have become highly public and involving a sitting president. However, an examination of the history of U.S. intelligence agencies reveals government bureaucrats were out of control long before the 2016 election. Right, that time the CIA considered bombing Miami and blaming it on Castro. Remember that? Operation Northwoods. The terror campaign went on. Boy, this is really good. The 2014, the CIA was caught red-handed spying on the Senate Intelligence Committee. I remember that. That's right. Dianne Feinstein was very upset. The FBI's suicide letter to MLK and his wife. Right. That was weird. The FBI had MLK and Martin Luther King under surveillance for quite a long time. And then they wrote a suicide letter. Oh my goodness, that is so implicating. The CIA forced prisoners to participate in mind control experiments in the 1950s, which came to light in the 1990s with the MK Ultra project being revealed by our Senate subcommittees. The FBI's systemic forensic fraud in crime labs. Oh yeah, talk about forensic fraud, like recently with Jeffrey Epstein. What a joke that is. Wow. Operation Midnight Climax, or drugging unsuspected Johns and filming their interactions with prostitutes, was actually part of their program. Oh my goodness. They've routinely staged acts of terrorism, according to this article. My goodness. Then the CIA's media manipulation campaigns, like, sure, the Tavistock, forcing transgenders on us and all that. The lesson. The lesson? Is there a lesson? There's no the only lesson I know is that we need a third party, because both parties are corrupt. Yep. The only lesson. If we want to make a new America, we're going to have to build this third party, folks. That's the only lesson I can glean from any of this. All right. We're just going to sign off now and give you guys a new thought process to, to think about tonight. A paradigm. Building a third party questions the two parties, automatically makes them more honest. They're not going to be able to pull much more dirt out of this. The Democrats have pretty much exposed everything they want to expose of Trump without exposing themselves getting money from Russia. The Republicans have pretty much exposed everything they want of Hillary without prosecuting her, or of anyone else without prosecuting them, because both of these parties are designed to hate each other. It's designed to hate each other. So when you hate a Republican or you hate a Democrat, You're falling into the hands of the elitists that are controlling the mindset of this country. That's what's really going on. I'll take a look at that article. Uh-oh, Mr. Bill. Could you post that link again, please? Okay, it's coming in. Good. I got it. This came in from uh-oh, Mr. Bill. Scientists successfully recreate the Tyrannosaurus Rex embryo from a chicken DNA? Are you serious? Talk about technology and science merging at a rapid rate. A 68 million-year-old DNA sample retrieved from the soft tissue cells found in a recently excavated pregnant Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil has led researchers at North Carolina State University to produce the first fully living dinosaur embryo in millions of years. Are you serious, folks? This is amazing. This is a landmark moment in DNA history. It's like a huge crocodile-like bipedal reptile, but in fact, its closest modern relatives are birds. And the T-Rex was actually the dinosaur equivalent of a chicken. I'll be darned. Now, T-Rex may very well be a feathered, yeah, we don't know. They don't know if they have feathers or fur, because all of that would have completely deteriorated over time, right? Well, that's good to know. Thanks for getting us one step closer to Jurassic Park. I'm going to put that in my Flipboard under technology or cool tech. All right. Better yet, I'm going to leave that in the Reddit room. Yeah, it's just so hot, interesting information. I'll leave it in the Reddit room. Okay, well, this is about the end of it for us tonight, but we will be in the show till 1 in the morning. I watch the shows with you that have been posted as links. A lot of this during the show is link gathering, and what I do is I bring the links in and post them after the show. But many of you are watching the show in the evening and use it to stay up. You can always chat with me. I'm usually in the room. Yeah. Well, whatever. If it turns into a large chicken, I'd be happy to see that. But we are doing the impossible. A daily show running now for 11 years with only breaks for Sundays where we take a rest. And that's something that no other person in the world has ever done. And we'll keep this show going and we'll keep interacting with you. Thank you, Wiggs Test Anthony. We'll keep doing as much interaction as we can because this whole process is very long and tedious. Politics should be easier. This is all wrong. We need to all kind of keep this rolling though, because it's that living instrument of political discourse that keeps this alive. And you don't get this from the mainstream media. You don't get this interaction, and you don't get this real-time people reading what you're writing, which is a big part of what we're doing. I don't ban people's views here. I do try to keep people from talking in a favorable way about other candidates. And I try to make sure that they can't come and post their rooms in here, because this is a hard-earned process that we've been on for a long, long time. It just isn't something that happened overnight. And you can't just jump into this thinking, oh, everything's going to be great. This is a very tedious process, because I fight trolls every night, unbelievable death threats every day to do this show every single year, and we've been keeping it up. Nobody else can even get near this, and we'll keep it up just for that purpose. We have momentum, and we're moving on to the 2020 election regardless of the censorship. We keep moving on. Can't stop, and we won't stop. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock for Freedom Friday.
My feet, my heart stops to beat, cause you make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good. it, 'cause you make me melt away. You're Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true. You spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. You're Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true.